Zion has missed 45 straight games and has not played since early January. And he says he does not feel mentally ready to return to the floor after the right hamstring injury. Here's Zion.
It just sucks. I love this game. I say it over and over. For those people that think that I just want to sit on the sideline just to sit over there, I don't know why people think that. But, it sucks. I just want to be playing basketball, for real.
You say you'll be back when you're feeling like yourself, but are there any specific benchmarks you have to hit?
I don't feel like there are any specific benchmarks for being Zion. It's just a matter of, when I feel like myself.
Mm-hmm. So it's not more so injury benchmarks that you have to hit then?
Just feeling like myself and knowing that I can go out there and, have a big impact for my team.
Zion last played January 2nd. He was making a comeback around February 12th when he suffered a setback in the recovery, to which VP David Griffin said he would be sidelined for, quote, multiple weeks after the All-Star break. Now it's been multiple months since the setback, which happened after he was injured a month prior. So this has been the never-ending story. Do I think that Zion Williamson would like to be out there? Of course. And could I understand an athlete that wants to be 100% confident in his body before he goes out there? Who couldn't? But Zion's inability, both physically and mentally, from playing full seasons has doomed this franchise. Now, you were not going to find a bigger Zion stan than me with him coming out of Duke. I had become addicted to his mixtape videos, his windmill dunks in high school, everything we saw from him on YouTube. But it was like, can you believe what this dude is doing at this size? He is going to tear up college basketball. And then he got to college basketball and did tear up college basketball. And then he was drafted number 1 overall, and let's all think back to that night when the Pelicans won the lottery and season ticket representatives started crying. Remember? The marketing department started crying at the joy of having this otherworldly, supernatural talent coming to their little old franchise. A team that struggled for relevance ever since it moved to New Orleans was going to have the most bankable, most explosive, most Hollywood superstar in years coming to them. Who wouldn't want to see Zion Williamson? Even his name was cool. The guy is built like Barkley but dunks like Dominique. The guy is built like a power forward, but he dunks like Vince Carter. Yeah, give me some of that. And he's been doing it with millions of subscribers on YouTube and his social media channels for years. This was heaven sent for the Pelicans. He's played in New Orleans for 4 years now. And I thought he would immediately become one of the top 5 players of the NBA, like almost immediately, because of not only his athletic attributes, powerful, big, strong, fast, explosive, but I also loved his basketball IQ. If you watched him at Duke, he understood spacing. He understood positioning. He wasn't just a give me ball, I run and dunk. No, this was a basketball player who was very good in footwork, very good underneath, was a very good passer. He could do it all. I said, this guy, who's going to guard this guy? In 4 years since Zion's been drafted, 4 years, he's played an average of 28 games a season. An average. Let me say that again. He's played 4 years of the NBA. He's averaged 28 games a season. For those wondering, it's an 82-game season. He's averaging 28 of the 82. He's averaging less than half of the Pelicans' games over his 4 years. This isn't a small sample size now. And we're at the point in time where the Pelicans have to win tonight or their season's over. And he's admitting he could play. But mentally, he's worried. Mentally, he's not where he wants to be. Now, he said, quote, I can pretty much do everything. I just don't want to go out there and be in my own head. I mean, what are the Pelicans supposed to do with that? Here is, again, a franchise centerpiece who just athletically can do things that maybe no one ever or very few guys ever have been able to do. Who's that fast and that big and that athletic above the rim? But in a must-win game where their season's over, having not played basketball in 3.5 months, admits, I can pretty much do everything, but I don't want to be in my own head, so I'm not playing. I don't know how you could possibly look at your teammates or look at the organization that has supported you since day one and wanted to make sure you were healthy, wanted to make sure you shed some weight so that you weren't taxing your joints and taxing your feet and taxing your body. Here's a franchise that has seemingly bent over backwards, acquired Brandon Ingram, went through all of these layers to build a winner around you and make you as comfortable as possible. And here you are in a must-win game where the season's over, 3.5 months after you last played, admitting I can do everything pretty much athletically, but I'm not going out there because I'm scared. I understand that this is a new generation of athletes. I understand that America has evolved to where we understand mental illness, we understand anxiety, we are appreciative of mental health and mental wellness checks, and so I'm not poo-pooing that part of it. But this doesn't sit well with me. It does not sit well with me that a guy who has been on the shelf for 3.5 months as his team has tried to make the playoffs could come back tonight in a must-win game as a centerpiece of the franchise and says, but I don't want to because I'm scared. I would be in my own head. They need you. They've built around you. Don't you have to die to be out there? Isn't it killing you to not be out there, even if it's for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, just to test the hammy? If they lose tonight, you all lose. You go home. And when's training camp? What, September now? Early October? May, June, July, August, September. You'll have 5.5 months off at least, at very least, if you tweak this hamstring tonight. You have 5.5 months off if you lose tonight. You're ready to just shut it down and just see if your teammates can win and then just keep kicking the can down the road? Or is this much bigger and this is, I don't want to risk my health on this franchise because I don't want to play for this franchise? Either way, the Zion experience in New Orleans has been so disappointing. I was so ready for him to take over the NBA, and he has been passed. All these other young guys keep passing him, and he could have been, and he should have been, and here he is. Tonight's the night. This would be a great night to be Zion. I'm not playing. Because I'm thinking too much. Well, stop thinking. Get out of your head.